How many of you have feel like they have power, whether it be in the workplace, at home even? Come on, a lot of you, man. Here I'm talking about power. I want to talk about the 5 bases of power, the traits of powerful people, and how people abuse their power. First of these points is the 5 bases of power. First off, we have the positional power. That is it's also known as legitimate power, which is, the relative position an individual has, whether it be like a manager, would be an example of positional power, president, stuff like that. We also got referent power, which is the ability to attract or build loyalty. Advertisers use this all the time. How many of you guys seen, Roger Federer with the Gillette commercial? That's a good example of referent power. You got expert power. That is the ability an individual has as an expert, like a doctor. That's his expertise. His medicine. You got firefighter. That's an example of an expert power. We got reward power. That is, the ability to, the ability to an individual has to give a reward to another individual. Like, you're working really good, you're an employer, and your boss gives you a raise. That's an example of reward power. We got coercive power. Is that how you pronounce that, Alex? And that is, that's just the negative influence people have. Hitler, he was a good example of coercive power. All the bad things he did. Secondly, I want to talk about the traits of powerful people. A lot of powerful people they carry cash in their pockets. They always, tend to have cash in their pockets, and they're also admit to sleeping. They're powerful people that can sleep in and do what they please. We also have the Stafford E experiment. According to Lauren Collins, she did this experiment, and she got 52 undergraduate students, and she's divided into 2 groups, and one into low power and one high power. And she instructed them to write an E with a marker on their forehead. On the forehead, and this is the powerful group was 3 times to write an E that's like self-oriented, like where the E could read the E instead of other people read it. And the low power people they're people-oriented, they have the E for everybody else can see, but them can read it. That was a Stafford experiment. They also have the attitude like I'm right, you're wrong attitude, like everything they do is right, whatever you do is wrong. Lastly, I want to talk about how people abuse their power. A lot of people, they go and get promoted to manager. They get promoted to manager, and they see past bosses. They see how they're a dictator and they abuse their power, and that's how some people abuse their power. And just according to Graham, a lot of people fear of losing their power. Like they don't want to lose their power, they're scared, and they want to maintain power and maintain their status and get the money and stuff like that. So that's like they fear losing. Some people they just got a raise. They just got promoted to manager, and they're feeling uncomfortable in their position, and they don't really know how to act or what to do and stuff. So they have a feeling, and they're out of their roles. They're just feeling out of position and so stuff like that. So in conclusion, I talked about the 5 bases of power, traits powerful people have, and how people abuse their power. That's what we talked about today. And here's a famous quote by John Steinbeck: "If power does not corrupt, fear corrupts." Fear corrupts, Thank you.